Got my eyes on the scoreboard, feeling the thrill. Moneyline show where I call for play still. Betting on the underdog, watching the odds rise. Smart choices, big wins, that's how we survive. Line shifting fast like the wind at my back. Reading the game, making my pick never lack. Feel the rush when the clock ticks, the tension mounts high. Moneyline show where every day can turn to sky. Moneyline show, feeling the heat, making smart picks, betting fate. Underdogs win, overtimes fall. Moneyline show, where dreams can be tall.
All right,
Moneyline show.
Your dreams can be
tall.
You got to fade that, David. We got to fade that into hello and welcome.
Hello and go fuck yourself. 97.9 Unity Radio. This is Moneyline.
Stop talking.
I'll try to be gentle.
You must be a Buckeye.
The voice of reason, Frank Cristiano.
Yes.
Coach Schumann joining us as well. We have some late breaking news I was unaware of. Apparently it's not late breaking, but it is news nonetheless. And it has real, I mean, like a monumental implications of what's going to happen with sports. And you had told me, Dave, I don't have all the information. I have to do some research. You're saying that college athletes and coaches can bet on
okay.
It's
not approved yet, but
it's not approved. It's proposed.
In May of 2013, May 13th, there's a thing on the docket where the NCAA is considering removing its long-standing ban on college students, athletes.
Holy crap!
Betting on professional sports.
Betting on pro sports. Okay.
Yes. The Division I Board of Directors recently voted 21-1 in favor of deregulation. Yeah.
Why?
So,
like, it doesn't help them. Like, are they getting a kickback from this? Like, I don't get it.
I think that's a slippery slope. It currently bans them from betting on anything.
Well, then Pete Rose got screwed all these years for betting on.
You're damn right he did. But not to the rules at the time. I mean, marijuana used to be legal in New Jersey, so it is.
Well, marijuana is very good for you. It's an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, but can the pros bet on college games?
The pros bet anyway. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
I don't think they do.
Oh, I mean, somebody just got suspended for life.
I think they bet outside their sport now.
A basketball player just got suspended for life for betting on sports.
You can't bet. You can't bet outside your sport in the pros.
In the NBA, I'm pretty sure it's illegal because I know that somebody in the NBA. I have to look it up.
You can't bet on your own sport, right? You can't bet on your own sport.
You can't bet on your own sport, so that's the only detriment. You can bet, but you can't bet on your own sport, your own team, what's not. But you can bet on anything else.
Right. Okay.
Well, Calvin Ridley, I thought, got in trouble.
He did.
The wide receiver.
You're in jail or serving you're in jail.
But he didn't. I didn't think he bet on football. He did bet on football?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah.
I know he did go away for a while.
No, he did. He did. He came back. But I know Adam Silver sent a message because he suspended a player for life due to betting.
Wow.
So I'm just gonna look this up quickly to see. But Frank, what were your thoughts on the NBA Finals and Oklahoma City taking it home?
Here's the thing. Going in, everyone had Oklahoma City basically as their winner. A lot of people had them in 5, had them in 6, but nobody saw them in 7. I think the series went longer than everyone predicted. I think the talent level still is better on that Oklahoma City team than Indiana overall. But bottom line, man, Indiana, they really played their hearts out.
They did. They did.
They played well at home. Halliburton going down with a torn Achilles in the first. After scoring 3 3-pointers, he looked like he was on a little bit of a roll. It sort of set the pace, and you could see they were trying to keep up by halftime. They were playing spirited basketball, but without Halliburton there, it does make a difference on the court talent wise.
Do you think Indiana could have won?
I didn't watch the game. He tore his Achilles.
Yeah, he did.
So he's been battling a calf issue for the last 3 weeks during the playoffs.
Compensated for
all the way through. Yeah, so he obviously been getting a lot of treatment on that area and has been compensating on that area as well. And he dropped 3 3-pointers. Then it was towards the middle or late of the first. He took a drive from the 3-point line to the basket. Took about 2 steps and then collapsed because the Achilles tore. So the funny thing about this is I saw this on
young guy to tear his Achilles.
Yeah. It's the
wear and tear.
So Damian Lillard,
Adam Silver makes you play.
Damian Lillard this year in the playoffs tore his Achilles. Jason Tatum in the playoffs tore his Achilles, and now Tyrese Halliburton tears his Achilles.
Yeah.
They all wear the number 0,
and it's Adam Silver's fault.
What do you think? What do you think is behind that?
Because Adam Silver instituted a policy where basically stars have to play the majority of games unless there's a severe type of injury.
Yeah, I really
think that's a fact.
I don't think that's the issue.
There's no load management.
I think the problem is the off-season load management. These guys are still playing. They're working out hard. They're doing year-round. Yeah, they do year-round training to stay in shape to be ready for the season. But after a while, that just takes a toll on these guys. Realistically, once the season's end, you got to shut it down for a while. Not. And I know guys like to stay in shape, which they should. They're being paid for that. But I think there's so much of a year-round load stress on the body, and especially, basketball, no more stressful game on the Achilles than basketball. So there's factors in there. Hopefully they get adjusted. I don't know. All those guys are going to be out minimum of a year.
Yeah.
Lillard
barely out next year.
Lillard may be career ending. He's 34 or 35, I think, at this point. So who knows how he feels after a year off,
What do you think about the shoes they wear?
Everyone's wearing they're wearing low
cost. You think the shoes have an impact?
Sure they do. Sure, there's no support in the back of the Achilles.
No support. They don't have support anymore.
They're light.
Right.
I know that.
Light.
Right. Nobody wants a high top or a mid.
You think the shoe impacts the injury factor?
Well, I think it has every little thing has something to do with it. Right. They don't tape. There's no.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure they stretch. I'm sure they've got. I'm sure they have a lot of therapy towards that, especially now. But yeah, I think that's a good point, Dave. I think the shoes would have something to do with it. My son in high school, nobody wanted. My son was the only one that he wore a mid, and he'd wear a high.
I hate the basketball shoes. So just because I have a son that plays basketball, and I constantly am trying to find a basketball shoe that doesn't hurt his feet, that don't bother him.
Yep.
To me, what happened to the freaking Air Jordans? They used to have the Air.
They still have the Jordans.
Shoes.
Yeah, they still have Jordans. They
new still have Jordans, but no one remember the old Air.
Yeah, where they'd have the air in between. Yes,
and the Reebok guys don't want the big cushion anymore.
No, they don't.
It's heavier and it's slower.
My son, the last 3 years of his high school career, so he would go through a pair of shoes and it'd be destroyed at the end of the year, and we would do team shoes. It'd be all this. We'd buy all the same brand and all that. It looks great.
Same. Yeah.
Well, no, they didn't make it, but the team, that was the idea, and we went to two state finals in 2 years. So there's nothing wrong with that kind of tradition going. So the best out of those 3 sets of shoes, a pair of shoes, the Kyrie Irving shoe that his daughter designed. It's like purplish pink in color. I found that since him playing from 4th grade up, that's the best basketball shoe I've ever seen.
Basketball shoe ever. Can't get it anymore.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Nope.
So
limited
my
edition.
son, when he's 10. I think he was 6 or 7. We got him the Kyries. They were the best basketball shoe. Then Kyrie had to go and make all his anti-Semitic remarks, and they pulled his shoe. And now,
oh yeah, he went crazy.
I say all the time. I'm like, all right.
Well, maybe you can find a used pair on eBay.
He's an asshole. Can we still get his shoe, please?
Right. Just find a used pair on eBay. That's what I would do.
I'm telling you, the shoe was great because you could pivot on it. It had great, like it had grip, but it wasn't so grippy that you couldn't.
And it lasted. It didn't fall apart. The whole thing. I still have all 3 of his shoes from 9th, 10th, 11th grade through. So I kept them all actually, and you can see the other 2 pairs are banged up to hell. One of them was who's the guy from the Chicago Bulls?
Jalen, the Rose guy?
No, that wasn't not Rose. The dunker.
I don't really like the NBA.
He was in the finals against Aaron Gordon in the dunk contest. I can't remember his name.
But Kyrie is now with like some knockoff company. I never even heard of his company.
I mean, that's about right. The NBA is just it's really corrupt. I don't really like it.
Sharia shoes, is that where he moved to?
I think so.
That Muslim company?
I've never heard of it. It looks kind of like the old ones, but not exactly.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you can replicate. That was a great show. Great show.
The player I was talking about.
Kyrie, why'd you have to make these crazy statements?
It's like Kanye West. I love Kanye West music.
I liked it when he interrupted Beyonce.
I love Kanye West. I still love Kanye West, but I think he's gone off his rocker. Made a whole bunch of anti-Semitic
it's just comments. Mental health. He's just got mental health problems.
Yeah,
he's bipolar. That's he's on the spectrum.
Yeah, possibly.
That's what you can say for everything. He's on the spectrum. John Porter was the one from the Toronto Raptors who was banned for life from the NBA for violating the gambling rules. And specifically,
John Porter.
They found
did he bet himself actually getting into a game?
He shared details about his own health and potential game participation with known sports bettors. He limited his own game participation. He deliberately underperformed or withdrew from games to influence the outcome of bets placed on his performance. And he also bet on NBA games.
John Porter.
So
what's his career? What are his career statistics?
I've never heard of him.
I'm sure I probably know him if I.
Well, so obviously it means nothing to you because you don't know of him,
right? Not off the top of my head. No,
yeah, he couldn't have been anyone.
Did he average 10 points a game?
Yeah, I'm checking now. Yeah. It's just you would think that he had some sort of impact because for any mafia organization to go to him.
Yeah, if I'm only getting 6 minutes a game, and
you want someone who's going to make a difference, right?
John Porter.
Yeah, John Porter was the one who got suspended. It was last year. I'm trying. I can't find his statistics anywhere. I'm trying to find.
You guys are talking. I'm subscribing to Kyrie's shoe company.
Are you really?
That's great, Dave.
That's awesome.
That's great. That's nice of you to do. So
here we are right now. This looks like his career stats, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yes. 2 points.
Career. 11 minutes a game. 1.5 assists a game, 2.5 rebounds a game, 3.7 points scored per game. So you're telling me people were laying money lines that I hope this guy throws the game. Nothing? Hope this guy throws the game.
He had no influence.
Nothing
on anything.
Nothing.
They said it's the first time since the CCNY point shaving scandal.
CCNY point shaving
1951. Did you know about that?
1951. Yes, I know about it. CCNY is the last team. They're the last team to win both the NCAA and NIT. And they were the powerhouse. They were one of the powerhouses back then. They had a legendary coach. One of the reasons I know is my father went to CCNY. And
what does CCNY stand for?
City College of New York.
Is it still in existence?
That's a horrible school now.
Do they have sports?
Antifa-ridden.
Antifa.
Yes.
There's Antifa and Hamas.
Yes,
Antifa and Hamas.
It's a breeding ground for terrorists.
It's a breeding ground for terrorists and a lot of other things.
So it must have been like a good program.
It was originally CCNY was a fantastic. For example, Colin Powell went there. It was a fantastic school. You went for free.
I believe it's Colin Powell.
You had to be a great student to go there. But now it's not a good school.
Why are you laughing?
No, it's a terrorist training center. He said Hamas is there and Antifa and do they have a first period rock throwing? But second period, second period class will be Molotov cocktail making.
That may be true.
That's right.
You'd have to get my father on to talk about it because he knows it inside and out.
Yeah, how to put on a gas mask.
But he said that since he's Jewish, he said that he would not, it would not be safe for him to walk around campus.
Wow.
Well, you're Jewish too, to an extent.
I'm not. I'm a born again Christian.
I know, but people could look at you and think you're Jewish.
I look like a Jewish. I look like I just came out of a Polynesian.
No, you look like your head was plunged from a toilet.
You look like a born again Jew.
So the other big news, which is actually kind of surprising, Maria Taylor has been named NBC Sports lead NBA and WNBA studio host. That is very surprising.
Does football? She does football a lot, right?
She does a little bit of everything. She's been around the block.
This will be a monumental flop.
That's not true. That's not true. It's not going to be a monumental flop. It can't be.
Why not?
It can't be.
Why?
She was on Football Night in America.
Doesn't matter.
She's beautiful.
No care.
She knows the game inside and out.
She's a female talking
about WNBA player, right?
And she's eye candy.
Tell me this year's NBA Finals announcing team. Mike Bream.
I don't know. I never watched.
Mike Bream, Jefferson, Richard Jefferson, and Doris. What's her name? Doris. She was the third. She's the color. No. She's the color.
Well, Jefferson must have been good. He's pretty entertaining.
Jefferson's all right. He Jefferson didn't tell you anything that you hadn't heard already. You know, as a player, he's got to give me a little more insight, but I like him. But Doris, totally. It's like watching or listening to an Oakland Athletics baseball game. They have a female play-by-play caller, and it is the most atrocious 2 hours of baseball to have to listen to.
Dave, you would remember her because I personally did not like her.
I know she is.
I didn't like her because she was on the NCAA coverage of the tournament, like the tournament final and all that. I found her to be loud, obnoxious, and annoying.
She's okay. She's
not really okay. Like I said, I found her to be loud, obnoxious.
When do they bring the TNT staff over?
They're keeping inside the NBA.
Right. Who has the rights to that? NBC?
No, ABC and ESPN.
ABC and ESPN. And who has NBA coverage?
It's not TNT.
It's NBC.
Yeah.
So NBC has basketball coverage. What is ABC has basketball coverage as well?
No, I don't believe they do, but I know that they are keeping inside the NBA.
Right.
Shaq, Kenny Smith.
Correct. Everyone's together. Yep. And you're saying ABC has that.
I don't know in what capacity.
Yeah, but you're saying ABC has that.
TNT had it.
They had it, but who has it now? ABC.
Can you give me a second?
Well, you should know this. You're the greatest podcaster in the history of podcasting.
But I don't like basketball.
You don't like basketball, so
you don't like basketball.
Not particularly. No.
You ever see him play?
No.
As smooth as a jagged knife. He's like a bread slicer.
I don't recall you playing basketball. Let's talk about your basketball career.
Never played in my life.
There you go.
I only played pickup games on the court.
You know what? I rest my case.
I know my limitations.
The prosecution wins.
I know my limitations.
The prosecution wins. Okay, explain what will happen inside the WNBA, the NBA.
Yeah.
TNT had 30 years of broadcast. Okay, so what's going to happen is NBC.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This is riveting.
Yeah, the future is unknown. I thought that they were bringing it over to certain games, like some of the bigger games.
No, I think it's going to be it'll be throughout the entire NBA season.
I'm sorry. ESPN is keeping it. Yes.
Okay.
ESPN
they're not keeping it.
They're
But they have
licensing
it.
it.
Right.
Yes.
They have it. So ESPN,
while they won't be covering the games,
they won't be covering the games, but they're going to have it.
They'll
that
have
will
inside
be
the NBA.
inside the NBA will be higher rated than the NBA season. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, that's the other thing that angered Maria, because you said Netflix, Amazon Prime, Peacock, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You think that's terrible for ratings?
I think it's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Even with people cutting the cord, and even with super boxes and all that, I'm
not a fan of it, because at a certain, even if I'm a fan of a team, I'm not going to subscribe to an entire $15.99 a month.
That's what I'm saying. But you're not, because you're already subscribed to it.
How?
I asked your wife.
How?
You're subscribed to Peacock.
No, I understand that.
You're subscribed to Amazon Prime.
But I can get rid of all of them right now.
You could.
Have what I have.
You
right.
could.
But what I'm saying is, if I'm a new fan, a new guy, and I don't have Netflix, and Netflix
is expensive now.
Netflix has whatever, as a sport option, right? WWE, whatever. They have that. I'm not going to go out and subscribe to that just so I can see the WWE.
Well, your theory would be wrong, because Netflix has set records with WWE viewership.
Yeah.
So a number of WWE fans went to Netflix because they don't want to miss John Cena.
Well, they're morons.
And Seth Rollins.
They're morons.
They're morons.
They love stage acting.
Because you say
they love stage acting.
Stage acting.
That's basically what it is.
Stage acting.
Yeah.
Okay. So Paul Levesque, Triple H, he runs the WWE. Nick Khan. I'm going to write them a letter, and I'm going to say Frank Cristiano has said that your product is stage acting.
Yes.
And fake.
Yeah.
And you stand by that.
Yeah, it's scripted.
Well, see, that's the difference.
No, physically they have to perform.
Correct.
But you can't. I know it's entertainment now. It's worldwide entertainment.
Yes. And their stocks are way up. They're making a lot of money. I don't care about
the stocks. The worldwide entertainment, what I'm trying to say is right now, it's not a sport.
Well, you can bet on it.
You can bet on WWE.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. You think that's funny?
I think it's idiotic.
You think that's funny?
That's idiotic.
You think that's funny?
I don't even think it's funny. I think it's idiotic.
You can go to DraftKings.
Right.
And you can bet on the WNBA and on the WWE.
Right.
The pay-per-view was 2 weeks ago. You could have bet on it.
Right. And you're saying, so these guys go into these matches and they don't tell anybody anything who's going to win.
Well, there wasn't. They do. But there was a period where finishes were being revealed.
Yeah. And
certain writers, so to speak, were making money.
Sure.
And they thought there was a betting scandal.
The fix was in.
So they've tried to keep the finishes of the matches super secret so people don't find out.
They asked John Cena to be quiet.
Dave, would you bet on the WWE, Dave?
No.
Thank you for your contribution. That's great.
Man, a few words.
Have you guys followed? I don't know if I said it to either of you. Have you ever heard of a guy named Chit, CHIT, on TikTok?
No. No. I'll look him up.
He's under Jay Renshaw.
Is he black?
No, he's white. He has. Okay. It's like an office style.
TikTok.
Like the office
videos. Yeah.
Oh God, it's so.
You find that so
it's
instead
so
of
dry that it's so great. It's just
it's good that instead of being present on our podcast that you're watching.
I'm not watching. I just thought of it because
you got bored. You got bored because you're trying
about whether the WWE is worth gambling on when it's fixed to begin with.
It's not.
It's bullshit to begin with. Okay. Complete bullshit. It's fixed.
So if it's fixed, then you can win.
The Hulk Hogan era. I lived through it. I had all the figurines when I was 10 years old.
So did I.
Okay? I enjoyed it. I didn't say I didn't enjoy it.
Grew up.
Except Dave grew up, but you're still
Everyone
masturbating.
Else grew up.
You're still masturbating to Hulk Hogan.
Listen, I'm like Tom Hanks.
I actually wrestled from 1st grade to 8th grade. Actually wrestled. And most of my talent, if you would ask them, they probably would say that was my best sport. but I gave it up in high school. But
what weight class did you wrestle at?
I mean, I stopped at eighth. I only
okay.
remember when I wrestled in eighth grade. I wrestled at 135.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But,
No, listen. I just you
but
can
it's
bet
not
on the
obviously.
WWE.
It's like real wrestlers. That's insulting too.
Well, they're Hulk Hogan and his business partner Eric Bischoff. They're opening Real American Wrestling, and it's going to be with real wrestlers.
It's a hamburger joint.
They're going to have real wrestlers. It's a real wrestling.
Like, Olympic champions.
Yeah.
You should watch. Have you ever heard of? There was a Russian. He lost his, I think, very first match and very last match as a pro.
So, I thought you were going to say the one that lost to Rulon Gardner.
Yeah,
no, Karolinko. He's the greatest. He's the greatest amateur wrestler, Greco-Roman.
He might have been Greco-Roman. Yeah, he was Greco-Roman.
He's Greco-Roman.
Yeah.
Andrew Karolinko. He is the greatest Greco-Roman wrestler that there is in the history of this planet. If you watch training and actual matches of him with, I mean, his signature move is picking up a guy by the waist and aerial suplexing, slamming him.
Yes. Was he the one that lost to Rulon Gardner?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. No,
that was a great Olympic moment when Gardner beat him.
That really was. The average person watching it was like, "What the fuck is going on? Nobody's doing anything." But they were leaning on each other. No one could get an advantage, and then that's
so this has been tried before. They've tried real professional wrestling leagues, and it hasn't had success.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Well, they understand it. It's just not aesthetically pleasing to watch unless you're a wrestling fan.
Wait a minute. Explain that. Real professional wrestling league. So if I could pick up a chair and hit you and it'd be real?
No. Not true. This isn't professional wrestling.
Oh, like wrestling,
it's amateur wrestling.
Freestyle. Amateur,
yes.
It'd be pro now. Freestyle pro.
Yes, they're going to pay them. They started their own league.
That'd be boring.
Speaking of wacky people, did you ever see the movie about the guy from DuPont with the wrestling?
The guy from DuPont.
The guy who owns DuPont.
Yeah.
Okay. You never heard the story where he kills the Olympic champion, who wrestler. They were brothers.
Steve Carell played in that movie, right?
Yeah, Steve Carell was
Steve
DuPont.
Carell was in that movie. Yeah. Okay. I never seen it, but I remember.
That movie it's dark. It's very dark. It's DuPont, like DuPont, the $1 billion company, DuPont. And he was obsessed with wrestling.
Yeah, like I am.
DuPont, and he funded the Olympic. They didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah, so no, they had a lot of sponsors.
They trained at where he was at his house.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't at his they had built a facility for them, and he became obsessed with these guys, I'm
obsessed with them too.
It was kind of a little homo-ish, kind of.
Well, it's not homo. I mean, you're just touching people. I mean, it's not. It's not
wasn't like he propositioned them. It was very weird. Okay, but anyway, so something happened. He got annoyed.
There's a power dynamic, of course. So
he got annoyed, and he shot and killed.
He shot him.
Yeah,
he killed him.
Why? Was it self-defense?
John DuPont was like I don't know. It's hard to. You have to see the movie. It's hard to explain how he is. He does not understand things.
He's like Ted Bundy.
But no, not like Ted Bundy.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, he's not a serial killer. It was like
he ate the wrestlers.
He was.
No, John Wayne Gacy would dress up as Pogo.
No, he was for a long time. He was like a mentor to them.
Yeah, he's eccentric.
Well, of course,
he was too eccentric.
He was like a crazy eccentric.
A big supporter. Yeah,
he grew up incredibly rich. Okay, like rich, like no one can fathom rich.
Like Robert Durst.
That's wanted to be like a normal person. Like he wanted to be a normal guy. He couldn't have
want it the other way. Yeah, I want the other way. Yeah, I want it the other way.
You would what?
I would want it the other way around. I want to be super rich and not have friends. That's what I would do.
Yeah, because you didn't grow up with the money like he did. He grew up in it.
So I don't understand. Money usually gravitates people to you.
There's some. Well, no, they did. Well, he did. He was off. Like he's an eccentric.
He was on the spectrum. He was on the spectrum.
He might have been on the spectrum. He might have been on the spectrum.
He had a lot of money. He jumped into something that he liked. He funded it.
Yeah.
And instead of being an outsider in funding, he became an insider and wanted to get a little too close to the people that were competing.
He wanted them to teach him to wrestle. He taught them to wrestle. He would amateur wrestle. Okay.
Oh.
Like
did he amateur wrestle in high school or something?
The movie's Foxcatcher. He built. I'll just read it. It's very
Foxcatcher. Yep, that's it.
He built a world-class facility called Foxcatcher in National Training Center.
Wow.
On his estate, and the guy he ended up killing was Dave Schultz. Him and his brother were Olympic champions, and Dave Schultz had a family. Like the family lived on. They lived there, you know what I'm saying?
When was this? What time period?
I want to say this must have been
80s, late 80s, something like that.
Maybe 90s.
90s.
Because Dave Schultz.
I mean, there's been incidents like this. Kids have gotten hurt because
97.
Yeah,
97.
Okay. Oh, so that's right when the WWE was taking a lot of flack. Well, no, Stone Cold Steve Austin, a kid stunned a kid in school and hurt his neck, paralyzed him or whatever, and they sued the WWE. So I mean, it was trying times.
He gave a kid in elementary school a pile driver. What did he do?
A stunner, the Stone Cold Stunner.
The Stunner. What the hell is that?
You know what the Stone Cold Stunner is?
I don't.
Yes, stop acting like a jerk. You know, you know who Stone Cold. Yeah,
I know who he is. I know who he is. I don't know what the hell he does.
You know what the diamond cutter is?
No, I don't.
Why are you? You're deliberately.
I am not. I'm not. I don't touch myself to these events.
First of all, I never said I touched myself.
Well, you have to.
Who at UConn was friends with you that it was equally?
Tyler and I. Listen,
Tyler was equally interested in it.
Listen, we have some stories, okay? Terry McLaury, Ouya Sunday, myself, Tyler.
You're all giving each other the diamond cutter?
I have a picture. It was my idea.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
We had just beaten Navy. And we got back from Navy. We had one game left in the season.
I was down there.
Yes,
I went to that game. It was at Annapolis.
Yes. Well, this was my plan. We had one game left in the season. We were playing at Iowa State.
You gave those guys a little too tight of a Cobra clutch.
If you stop being difficult,
sure,
and let me speak,
sure, please.
So what happened was
finish this riveting story.
It is a riveting story. I wanted to go to Survivor Series,
of course,
the WWE.
Who doesn't?
Well, exactly. Who doesn't? The pay-per-view was at Madison Square Garden, and it was Sunday night. Okay, we had Sundays off during the season, so I planned this. We got tickets, and this was all my idea. We drove. We bought a grill at a gas station. And we tailgated outside of some elementary school in Stamford. And we took a train from Stamford to New York City. And, to watch the event. And we bought 30 packs on the train and got drunk. And
sure,
I almost started a fire at the elementary school with the grill.
Nice. Sure the kids were happy.
No, it was a Sunday. But
they weren't there.
Security... I thought security was going to arrest us, but they didn't. They were just like,
they were scared.
Control the fire, I guess.
Sure.
So we go to the event, and it was unbelievable. It was so much fun, and we got drunk, and we went to Survivor Series. I still remember it. It was the cage match, the Elimination Chamber. It was the first time the Elimination Chamber was ever used.
Was this? Did the Nazis have anything to do with this Elimination Chamber?
No. It was the first
gas. No gas is involved.
So it was pretty wild, and we got really drunk, and then afterwards, I don't know why, but we went out and I sang karaoke in New York City.
Wow.
And I'm trying to find the picture of this.
See, that is without a doubt one of the most boring stories I've ever heard in my life.
It's not a boring story.
No, the good thing is I didn't listen to it. I watched more of Chit's episodes while I was.
You did the right thing. So here I have an idea for the movie of what you just described to me. It's called 4 Fuck Ups in New York. Steve Buscemi should play the lead. He should be you. I think Steve Buscemi.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah, you're around the same size. You look the same.
Yeah.
You should be. Steve Buscemi could play you.
But my friend Terry got in trouble because the Monday or whatever, he slept through everything.
Yeah.
He slept through meetings, practice, whatever.
Of course he did.
And he got called in and he got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I was fine. We didn't get back until like 3 a.m. But it was such an amazing experience.
Yeah.
To be at the Elimination Chamber, Survivor Series, and Madison Square Garden.
That was the best 7 minutes of airtime I think we've ever had in the show.
Well, fuck you. How about that? Fuck you. I like pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I got to go to the Garden.
Wow.
I got great seats.
I went to the Garden. I saw Reggie Miller play at the Garden.
Well, wrestling was much better.
No.
It was a packed house, and it was memorable. It was memorable.
Yeah.
And we had a great time.
Well, that's all that matters.
Dave, as I press the mute button for Steve, let's talk some sports here.
Okay. No, I did want to talk some sports.
Yeah.
And I was.
We talk Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah.
No,
I like that. Let's talk about that.
No, we're not talking WNBA. There's no WNBA.
Why?
Because people don't like the WNBA.
Oh my God, it's so popular.
It's the most popular. There's nothing on right now.
There's nothing on.
The World Series, LSU won.
OTAs, the NFL OTAs.
The College World Series.
NFL OTAs, where can you watch that?
No, I mean, that's what people are concerned about. Like, what's going to happen?
Nobody
Who's going to be the quarterback?
Sanders drove 140 miles over speed limit.
He got ticketed. Yeah. So, okay, the NBA, for example, the draft is coming up.
Sure.
All right, the mock draft, there's a lot of experts that are picking things going a certain way.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance that Cooper Flagg doesn't go number 1?
No, I think he obviously goes number 1. I think he goes number 1 to
Dave, you're rubbing your eyes. Do you have a problem with Cooper Flagg? Do you think he'll
go number 1?
He's going number 1.
And he's going to Dallas. There's no way the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks is going to make 2 fuck ups in a row. First trading Luka Doncic, he definitely has to make up for that. So, hey, I think it could be in a decent situation in the upcoming season. You're not going to be that far off. If Cooper Flagg turns out to be anything close to what he's doing right now in college.
If Cooper Flagg is who we think he is.
Dylan Harper 2.
Yeah, but if Cooper Flagg is who we think he is it worth what they traded to get him? You know, when they traded with the Lakers, was that trade worth it to get Cooper Flagg, in your opinion?
Yes.
Really?
They didn't like what's his name anymore.
No, they Luka, but still, I'm saying, I mean, Cooper Flagg is an unknown for the NBA. Like you don't know what you're
slam dunk
gonna get. He could be Yinka Dare for all we know. That's what I'm saying. You think 100% he's a franchise player. He's a slam dunk.
Right.
Yeah.
The upside is so big. The upside. Think about it. The NBA is drafting 18 and 19-year-olds, and they're taking guys that have,
and they're taking a lot of European guys.
Right. They have a third of the talent that this kid has coming out at this point. So he's way ahead of the curve.
Right.
And I think they're definitely getting something. Now you pair him up with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving.
McNeely's supposed to go.
Liam McNeely, I was surprised about.
16.
Yeah, I thought
he stays if he goes that late.
He is staying. He is going. Like, he's not coming back. I thought he would have come back by now. It's like, why would you go to the league if that's where you're going to be picked? I never saw the purpose behind it. Didn't you think? Would you have stayed another year, or would you have gone
at 16? If he goes 16. That's right on the borderline. That's right outside lottery. I don't know.
It's way outside the lottery.
Yeah, but why?
What is lottery? Top 11?
Like top 10, maybe.
12,
Like, yeah,
12.
it's not.
But so, what's one more year going to? One more year could be one more year of injury.
It could. It could blow up in his face.
One more year of uncertainty. One more year of a worse season instead of a good season.
It could blow up in his face. I agree.
Anywhere in the first round, NBA, you got to go.
I agree with you. No, anywhere in the first round?
Yeah, anywhere in the first round.
No, not the second half, not the back, not the top. Like
why not?
28.
Why not? Why
You're
not?
not going to make the team.
You're going to get dick.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here? We're talking about if you're the
20th pick in the NBA
in the first
draft
round to a team in the first round,
and you could come back and play another year. No, fuck you.
No, if you're anywhere in the listen, there's only 2 rounds of the NBA draft.
Correct.
All right, and the money obviously slides scale as you go lower down from the number 1 pick.
Correct.
But it doesn't slide enough to where it justifies you're going to stay. How much more are they going to give you? He's going to be a top.
Okay, so I see what you're saying.
He's going to be a top 2 or 3 pick when he comes
You don't think that him staying another year is going to improve enough to justify him staying?
No.
Okay. I disagree with that.
I take the money right now. Hopefully you go to a team that can develop you, that needs you, that you can get time right away. That's a big thing. But I would go.
I don't know who's spectacular, obviously, in next year's class.
He's going to go. He's going to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll go 15. Dave, he can't pull out now. I don't think he can pull out. I think he's already.
Oh, really? I thought you get drafted and come back.
Wow, what a great night that is.
This is the picture. This is the fucking picture right here.
That is.
This is the picture.
Remember, the 4 guys going to the you can't really see it that well. Going to the SummerSlam or what is it called?
It was Survivor
Series. There, the 4 UConn players.
Yes,
Dave, you remember?
You want to see a photo of me when I was Randy Macho Man Savage?
No, I don't because it was probably poorly. It was probably poorly done.
Remember
you didn't take it seriously. And I don't want to see it. I'm sure it's embarrassing.
Remember Police Academy? Remember the bar, the Blue Oyster Bar, where they all went. That's kind of the Blue Oyster Bar.
Why does it have to always go to sexuality with you? I mean, it has to go to sexuality. Now it has to be. It has to be that I'm gay.
You haven't caught up with times. You haven't really come out.
I haven't caught up with time.
No, now it's okay to say you're gay.
It's okay. It's okay to say I'm gay.
You don't have to put on a facade anymore. It's all right. I'll still sit next to you. It doesn't mean.
So you're saying that I coming out, if I say Steve Cully, I am a homosexual male.
Right.
You would not be surprised at all.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And you would be supportive, and
of course
it wouldn't change.
Of course, you're my friend. I'd be supportive.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, would you set me up on blind dates?
I would. I'd probably have to pass on that, but I mean, I would definitely hang out and have a drink with you.
But you wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised at one bit.
But the thing is, I have forgotten more pussy than you've ever seen.
Well, that's the problem.
You remember that?
That's how most guys turn gay.
I have forgotten more pussy.
Most guys turn gay because they forget pussy. They can write the dick.
Dave, I sent you a picture. If you can put it up.
This has gone awry.
The wrestling picture. The wrestling picture. If you want to put it up.
No, please don't.
No, it's a great picture. It's not a bad picture.
Somebody write something over there. What's that? Anybody
it's some asshole who's saying that they can increase our views, and it angers me.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, because I say fuck you. I don't need you to increase my views.
164 million is not enough a month.
I mean, like really, we'll increase your viewership and SEO.
They're trying to get money.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous.
It's
hate
the game.
What happened with the agent? Were we getting an agent or something like that?
Yeah. The Pod Boost Media. Yes.
How's that going?
They never answered the phone.
Never answered the phone. It's going well.
But I got one more person.
I feel confident.
Well, you know who's actually going to help us is
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
No, Billy's guy, Buckley.
Oh yeah, he's going to help us.
Yeah, Buckley. I got a meeting with him. He knows everyone.
Yeah, and where in Utica?
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to help us. We got to get.
Well, no. It's going to get a sponsorship.
Utica?
Yeah,
that's not going to help us.
Well, his book sales have gone through the roof. He said
they have.
Yeah, and he said that everyone brings up the podcast.
That's unreal.
So
of course they would.
Well, You don't think that businesses will throw $1,000 a month to sponsor the podcast series?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. I have no idea.
Absolutely not.
In this area?
Billy's Brave Brew?
Absolutely not. I think that's a stretch to say absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't see $1,000 a month being thrown to that. Not in this area. You're in major metropolitan.
Billy's Brave Brew.
I don't think it's necessary.
Billy's Brave Brew flows like a river in the dark.
Flows like a river.
Shadows gather with a smile.
Yeah,
and a
shadows.
laugh. He turns fear into cheer. Billy's got the power no villain can steer. Billy's the
And
hero with a glass
Blumpkins
and a
everywhere. That got you to stop at the Blumpkins everywhere.
That's great.
So the question has really been about Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns going into OTAs. Nothing is really separate. Why are you going? Oh, if there's something else you'd like to talk about, please, I'd love you to contribute.
No, I'm just looking at pictures.
Okay. Well, people have been asking, do you think that the Browns will actually cut Shedeur Sanders at the end of training camp? Dave?
That's a good question, actually.
Because I've got several comments about that people think he's going to actually get cut as opposed to be a backup on the team.
Supposedly got more reps recently. After the whole debacle of him getting pulled over.
Right.
I don't know. I don't. Could they trade him? Could he be traded?
I don't think he's tradable. I mean, I think he's toxic. I don't think anyone wants anything to do with him. He's a fifth-round pick. He's an above-average quarterback. He wore 12 because he wants to prove he's Tom Brady. He's clearly not. I don't think he's respected, and he drives 102 miles. What is this?
Can you name?
Is this you?
That's Dave right there.
Who's 19?
19.
Is that
Phil.
Zeke? Is that Zeke?
It's Phil.
Phil was 18, I thought.
No, he was 19.
I think you're wrong, but okay. So
didn't you play with Phil?
No, I didn't play with Phil.
Oh, I thought you played with Phil.
No, I didn't. I didn't play with Phil. So that's why people are saying it'll do the Browns more good to cut him as opposed to keep him as a backup. Frank, I mean, I don't think he can last as a backup. I don't think he brings anything to the table as a backup.
No, I disagree. I mean,
you disagree?
Yeah. Listen, look at the backup level of NFL quarterbacks that have gone. Look at what Cleveland did with Dorian Ray Thompson or whoever the hell they had in there
when they traded him.
Right, he's terrible. But if that guy can get in there and play, then I think definitely Sanders can get in there and play a little bit. I think they should keep him. I think they got to work through it. Give him a year, figure it out.
So you think they will give him the full year?
I think they got it. I'd be surprised if they cut him. I really would.
Dave, were you surprised? Travis Hunter, he held out for camp. He finally got his deal done. 4 years, $46.65 million.
Almost $12 million a year. And you got $30 million of a guaranteed, right?
Which is huge. Yes. With the NFL salary scale structure for draft picks.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, he's the second pick in the draft now. Do you think he's worth every penny?
Well, I'm curious to see because he's only going to end up playing one way most of the time.
No, I think he says he's going to retire if he's not playing both ways.
He's decent speed. Will that be a factor, or is he that great of an athlete? I mean, he was the number one player.
I think he's both.
He's the number one player in high school.
Yeah. So you don't think that if he gets 60 offensive plays, you don't think he'll get 30 defensive plays?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
You don't think the load management?
I think he's a wide receiver, and I think maybe he's
I don't
third
think he's
down
fast
and long cover guy.
Right? He's not fast.
He led the team in interceptions. I mean, when he was out there, he played well.
That's different. That's different.
It is. I agree.
I think he can have more impact on the offensive side of the ball.
I agree.
I think he can fit into spots. So if there's like I said, if they want to go put him in the slot and have a man up on somebody, could do that. If they want to have him freelance at free safety on third and long, I can see little packages for him secondary wise. But I think the guy, he's going to take his 60 snaps at wide out.
Yeah, I think that's where you have to use him as well. I think anything above that, you're just going to drain him, and he's going to be more susceptible to injury.
Right.
Dave, what are your feelings on Abdul Carter with the Giants? A lot of people are coming around to him possibly being the best player in the draft, that he may surpass Travis Hunter. He may be more productive.
Well, defensive players are very obviously are very important, especially the position he plays.
Defensive end, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's explosive.
Great pass rusher.
I mean, I think that he could end. Look at wide receiver. It's different positions. Like you got production.
No, I'm not talking about the positions. I'm just talking about value. Would you rather have a great defensive end or a great wide receiver?
I would rather have a great defensive end because you could find great wide receivers.
I'm the same way. You can't find pass rushers. I think if you have a guy who can pass rush, you have a guy who can do things on a different level. And that disrupts the entire game for the opposing offense. That puts you in better field position situations, and that helps your offense to the extent where you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, but you got to look at it this way too. A great edge or pass rusher is one man. He can do alone. He can do his own thing.
Correct.
You get a wide receiver, you still need a good quarterback. You could have the greatest wide receiver in the world.
Right.
Yeah, so you need double the factor on offenses, whereas on defensive side of the ball, it's just one guy and he's got to make plays.
So, Dave, the other thing I wanted to ask, we had been talking about NIL and the players getting paid money. There's been a lot of chatter going around that because of the money that's being paid, less guys not only are going to go to the NFL, but guys are going to retire after playing college football because they're going to have millions of dollars in the bank.
I agree with that.
They're not going to want to put their bodies through it. There's not going to be, and people already don't think players have the love for the game.
That's what level you are.
Yeah, it does. It does. But people believe that the love for the game has diminished significantly since NIL has become a factor.
Well, okay, so let's put it in perspective. Here's one of the negatives.
And the draft numbers show it.
Here's one of the negatives of making money in college. Okay, you accelerate the development path. Okay, anytime.
Yeah, there's no red shirting. There's nothing.
Well, no. Anytime. What I mean by that is look at pro tennis or something like that. Anytime professional sports gets accelerated, which is what that does. Now you can make money at 18 or 17 or whatever. When you accelerate that path, that means development gets accelerated. Okay? When development gets accelerated, that means that you're working a lot more, a lot earlier, a lot longer. And when you do that,
and you burn out.
No, it doesn't matter how good you are, you burn out. Okay? Even guys who love it, who probably like it a lot. It's inevitable that you're going to have a level of burnout for some individuals. So,
if you've been playing pro since 17, 18, yeah, of course. I mean,
yep. I think you're gonna. I think if you turn pro basically at 18 and you're making $100,000, the pressure that's on you is different. So you've accelerated your process to get to that point, which is understandable. That's especially if you turn puberty and all of a sudden people identify that you're a guy that's really at a high level. They're going to accelerate your development so you can enter college with the capabilities to make money. And then you as an individual who doesn't really know what that means, but you're glad to take the money. After 4 years of that, they say, hey, this is what you're going to be drafted. If they say to you that you're going to be drafted in the 6th round
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah.
And you just
I'll
made
go
$2
home.
million.
Yeah, I'm not taking a pay cut. Blow me.
There are players that are still going to go in the 6th round and be glad.
Right.
But there are going to be some players that are going to say, hey, I'll use a good example who comes right to mind. Dylan Pavia from Vanderbilt. Okay, the quarterback. He's going to make $1 million plus. He may get a free agent contract. He's undersized, but he's an unbelievable college football.
The guy they had last year. Yes.
Yes. He's a great college. He's 5'11", great college football quarterback. Okay. For college football, he's great. But for the pros, more than likely not going to make it. And if he does make it, he's going to be a backup, Now, if he's a backup who lasts 15 years, he could say, hey, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm Dan Orlovsky. Yeah.
He may say, you know what, I made $4 million in my career, and
I got a nest egg to start with. Yeah.
There are going to be guys that'll think that way, or they'll play a year, in the pros, like you've seen a couple of guys do. They play a year or two, see how it works out.
Yeah.
If they realize that they're relegated to being on the fence. I've seen guys that before NIL, when I was an agent,
I know
guys that represented who were not getting anything other than a scholarship. I mean, played at the highest.
No, they just got burned out, man. It burns you out. It's just a lot. Schedule.
They're in and out of a couple of camps, and they're like for a year or so, and they said, I don't really. I had a great career. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I agree. Frank, I wanted to ask you this because you semi like baseball.
Sure.
There's been a lot of turmoil going on with the Oakland A's and getting a new stadium.
Yes.
Oakland does not want to pay for one. Vehemently are against paying for one.
Of course.
So
Oakland has not wanted to pay for anything in the history of Oakland.
No, they're cheap. They're cheap.
They don't have the money.
Well, they're Democrats, so that's why. They're communists.
Gotcha.
So they have broke ground on a stadium in Las Vegas.
Correct.
And now there's going to be obviously a baseball stadium to go with the football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders. You're going to have the Las Vegas Athletics. This is supposed to end in 2028. The Oakland A's have to play in the Oakland Coliseum for the next couple of years, which is falling apart.
I don't think they're there. I think they're actually in Sacramento right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. They're playing with their AAA ball club.
Right.
This has been a battle that's been going on for decades or a decade. They wanted taxpayer money. They couldn't get it. They put up, I think, $800 million, the ownership, but they still could not get this pushed through.
Yeah.
Dave, what the fuck? Oh, that's Johnny Manziel. Good. Who's the other guy?
Who are the two guys? Two Heisman Trophy winners next to each other.
Marcus Mariota?
Yep. That's when they played my All-Star game in 2010.
Yeah, Mariota is a good-looking guy.
Who's the guy behind him?
He looks like a
lineman.
Fat lineman. Yeah.
Steve Cully. Steve Cully.
Manziel looks like he's thinking about his next bet. He looks like he wants to play 18 holes. So basically the staying at Oakland became untenable for the franchise. It played its final season last year. They're playing in West Sacramento this year while they move to Vegas. And it's disappointing because they were, I think, one of the longest tenured teams in their stadium besides like the Yankees and some of the other ones. But what do you think Oakland's problem is? That you had Moneyball, you had the success with less. They didn't spend as much.
Yeah.
They're a small market team. They don't have they're a small market media organization. Do you think that they should move to Vegas? And do you think it's the right decision?
I don't know. Vegas is tough, man.
Because there's so much going on. That's why I can't see people watching a baseball game.
Listen, I mean, you're going to be sitting out in 110-degree heat in the summer.
It's going to be a dome stadium, I believe.
Oh, it's going to be an enclosed dome? That would be better.
It's going to be dome.
That would be better. I mean, I don't think Vegas is going to be worse than where they are or what they're doing. But here's the thing: I mean, they're not selling out where they are now in Sacramento.
No, they didn't have the once they announced they were moving to Sacramento, the fan base abandoned them.
But listen, you need like maybe 15,000, 20,000 to fill it up in Sacramento, maybe.
Yeah, they're not doing that. You're right.
Out of Sacramento.
You're right.
So I think honestly, I heard a guy a long time ago. I think he was a pro surfer, but he's just like, there's too much shit to do in California.
There is.
So especially like in LA, why don't franchises last in LA or San Diego? Because people would rather go to the beach. They don't want to go to sport. They rather go to the beach or surf or parasail or whatever. To sit in the stands for 3 or 4 hours is not worth it to many of them. So
no, I agree.
And Oakland, to me, Oakland. That's a tough city.
Well, it's a lot of DEI.
No, it's not even that. It's a tough city.
It's very racial.
It's not a fully crime-ridden city, but there's a lot of problems.
A lot of ethnic people.
And so over the years, we've had people move out of the area, move into the suburbs, move away from the city itself, and so that probably draws a little bit away. And also, they're not winning. They haven't really put on a good product on the field in 20 years.
They don't spend. They're cheap.
All those factors contribute. Now, a move to Vegas.
They're going to spend. They got support from the city.
The first two, well, they might not spend a lot, but they got the first 2 or 3 years. They're going to be packed.
Yeah, they will.
People will go out to see the product in the beginning, and if the product ends up being good, then they'll stay. If not, that could be another situation where you got an empty stadium, for a team that really can't win games in Major League Baseball.
Cutler just had 5 girls walk through here.
That's what it is.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. They're friends.
What do they do?
What's that?
What do they
They're going swimming.
They're going swimming?
Yeah.
I might go swimming.
Yeah. That's what they want to do. They want to see Orca in with them. Yeah.
Orca. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just curious. But I mean, Dave, your thoughts on you're laughing. You think that's funny? You think that's funny? You know what I think? You know what I think funny? I think your beard's funny. Your miscolored beard. I think your dark beard. Excuse me, sir. I think your dark beard's funny.
The girls will be like, "Excuse me, sir. Could you keep some of the water in the pool, please?"
Dave,
he looks sick. The fish looks sick. Somebody please roll him over and put him on the shore.
Frank is comparing me to a beached whale.
Yeah, I just watched Jaws. I watched the original Jaws just a little while.
Dave, what are your thoughts on Oakland moving to Vegas? Do you think it's good? Obviously, there's a lot going on in Vegas, and the last thing I wanted to talk about was Jon Jones, but Vegas first.
I think it's a great idea
because I mean the Vegas Knights have done well, the Raiders have done well. I think they have enough to support a baseball franchise. I really do.
Well, they got money there.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. So Frank, what were your thoughts on Jon Jones?
I just think
I was angered. I was so mad.
Why would you be mad? Because he didn't fight
retired?
Because he's retired.
Yeah. Well, he was supposed to fight. He committed to fight Tom Aspinall.
He bailed. He just bailed.
He did, but
he's the greatest combat sport fighter in the history.
I don't think it's the
but isn't there something that happened that?
He got arrested. He got arrested again.
Yeah, I don't think that's that.
You don't even think that's that?
No, I don't think so. I think he's tired. I just think he's tired. Yeah, he doesn't want to train.
He's fought once in 3 years.
That's just it. When he's mentally not into the game anymore.
Tyler said that too. Tyler said the camps are way too hard.
They're too hard. People don't understand that. I mean,
how hard they are.
I was an MMA promoter for 7 years. Okay, so I would get to go into these different camps and see how these would be amateur guys that are on my card.
Yeah, and they're vicious.
They're cooks. They're mechanics, plumbers.
They got day jobs.
They got day jobs, and they're going in and they're beating the hell out of each other for 12 weeks of training for like one fight that could last maybe a minute.
Yeah. No, I know.
So it's a grueling sport. It's a costly sport. It takes away from your body as well. Physically, it's very demanding. Mentally, it's even more demanding than physically.
It is mentally.
So I think he's tired. I think he's had enough. Listen, he has his pedestal on the UFC Hall of Fame. He is considered the greatest combat sports fighter ever.
What was he charged with?
Was it
domestic violence?
Dude, he's done so much shit. I mean,
I know he loves marijuana.
I've known indirectly Jon Jones since he was first.
Well, yeah, we all
did
because he's a Syracuse guy.
No, Jon Jones? No, he's not Syracuse.
No, his brother Chandler Jones is a Syracuse guy.
They're in the Binghamton area.
Yeah.
So, I've known indirectly from when he fought Matt Hamill, in training camps with
They
Matt's
said they were
trainer.
blindsided by this news. Wow.
Yeah, well, he probably kept it to himself. But
Wow.
but it's a mentally grueling sport, man. Tom Aspinall, he's not scared of Tom Aspinall.
You don't think he's scared of Tom
He's not scared of
Aspinall?
anybody. He's not scared of any man. He could fight anyone. His style of fighting
I still think Dominic Reyes
is so
beat him.
his style of fighting is so unique and so thought out. I mean, and I don't know if it's the trainers or if it's himself. I think it's himself personally, but he'll break down a fighter and figure out what their weaknesses are and how to attack it. Absolutely.
He's that intelligent.
He's that good.
Oh,
He's that good. He knows when he's got to be close. He knows when to keep distance. He knows what strikes to use. He knows endurance wise what he needs to push. I'm telling you right now, the guy is the greatest combat.
I just think this is the greatest disappointment in MMA history.
Oh, it's fine.
We've waited years to see Jon Jones fight at heavyweight. He finally fights at heavyweight. He has 2 fights against Stipe.
Yeah.
And
Stipe was on the way down. He was tired.
And that's it.
Probably the greatest heavyweight champion the UFC has seen.
Yeah. And then did he fight? Yeah, he was supposed to. He had a vacant title fight against Cyril Gane.
Yep.
He beat him.
Yep.
So we got him for 3 fights at heavyweight.
Right.
And now nothing.
Yeah.
And the Aspinall fight's gone.
And think about it. Why is he fighting at heavyweight?
And Aspinall, because heavyweight's the best division.
No, heavyweight's a shitty division. The reason he's fighting
because he killed everyone in light heavyweight.
No, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to work as hard and cut enough weight.
Oh, that's why.
He had to get down to 205 to fight light heavy. He's 6'4".
No, he's a big guy.
You know what I mean? So so now he could stay at heavyweight, be at 240. Who cares? 245, 250. He could be his walking weight.
Do you like Dave? I don't know. I know you're not an MMA guy. Do you think Jon Jones? Do you think he loves MMA? Do you think it's his passion?
It definitely was at some point. You don't become the best in the world if it's not your passion.
Do you think that eventually he just stopped loving it and just it became a job?
You ever see Donald Cerrone's last fight?
I did.
Right. Yeah. So Donald Cerrone's last fight, he lost. He dropped his gloves in the center of the octagon.
The hat
and the hat and the cowboy hat. And he just said, I don't love it anymore.
Yeah.
He goes, it's real hard for me to get up and go through camps.
Yeah, the camps
mentally grueling. It's physically. He goes, my body's breaking down. He goes, I think this is the right time. And I'm going to go on my farm and I'm going to enjoy my life with my kids and all that. Yeah. And bottom line, he'll do appearances. He'll make some money along the way. Yeah. You don't think Jon Jones is going to make money on appearances?
I don't think he's very well liked in the UFC community.
Oh,
so no.
I
don't think he's revered.
He's not revered as a person in the UFC community, but bottom line, he's
revered I don't think people are career. I don't think there'll be lines to get his autograph.
Oh, absolutely there will. He'll draw a crowd like you wouldn't believe. And so these places are going to bring him guest appearance here, guest appearance there. He's going to make some money.
Okay, Dave. Yeah, great job. Great show. Another banner episode of Moneyline, 97.9 Unity Radio. I appreciate your contributions to the show.
Unity in the community.
Yeah, black in business. Black in business.
Yes,
black in business.
Yeah, Ernie.
All right.
There's no such person.
There is person.
I love how Steve still has the make-believe thing going that we're actually on Railroad Public's actually on their network.
Right. It is on the. Why would I make that up? You think I like that show? It was his ass.
We are the WWE of Unity Radio.
Well, we're on the Little Falls station, and we're his top show.
Yeah, that's great.
So we're
supposed to be on the Worcester station.
We are.
We're on the Worcester station.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. We'd be taken off by now. They'd be complaining.
I will give it to you.
Anybody, if any urban African American,
I don't see it on the website. I don't see my name on there.
Well, he doesn't put everything on the website.
Wait a minute. They edit it.
Well, they edit the swearing out and all the stuff.
So the swearing's it out, but
they have to edit the timing,
and they edit the political commentary. They
have to make sure the timing.
Basically, it's just an introduction and a closing statement.
No, we can't go for
here they are, the conservatives. Goodbye.
Here they are. Bye.
Okay. All right. So for the voice of reason, Coach Schumann.
He's getting agitated.
Well, you're just assholes. You're just assholes, and you don't listen, and you don't answer questions.
Dave, can you make some?
I answer questions. Ask me a question about WWE.
you quickly
make fun of WWE?
Wait a minute. Can you quickly make an AI song about unity in the community?
No,
Yes,
there's
I'll
no
make
AI
please.
song.
Please.
I'll have it ready.
There's no AI
Rebel.
song about unity.
Make it ready for Rebel.
Why?
Yes.
Why do you want to provoke this?
What am I provoking? Who am I provoking? There's no one there at the station.
So it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where this airs.
I've sent you the link when we
yes.
aired
Yep.
several
that's right.
times.
Yep. I know. Yeah. I'm tuned right
That
in.
for Rebel too?
Yes, I've sent it to him. Yes.
Not for Rebel.
I see Sports
Here's
Moneyline
Moneyline.
on the channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
What Rebel on?
The website has not been updated. That's all. He hasn't updated the website.
Sure. In 2 years.
Rebel was on there for a while.
Yep. One episode. Then they realized it wasn't DI friendly and it got cut right off.
Okay.
Unity in my community.
It's on Thursday.
Not yours.
Thursday nights it's on.
Rebel works on Thursday nights?
Thursday and Friday nights.
Better
Yes.
get my antenna out so I can hear it.
Moneyline and Rebel play Thursday night and Friday night, and then the Worcester Red Sox show I do is usually Wednesday nights.
I still don't believe that Rebel is on.
That's a great lineup.
Why wouldn't it be on? Why wouldn't it be on?
Because
Not on the website.
His website isn't up to date. There's shows on the website that he doesn't
Show.
air anything.
why won't Ernie come on the show? Why don't you ask him to come
He
on?
doesn't
Show
have
doesn't
time.
exist.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
He plays jazz music.
Bullshit.
He has
Bullshit.
music gigs after work.
No.
He's a teacher
No,
in Springfield.
was he also a wrestler at Ohio State? Was he getting touched? Come on, get him on the show. Get him on the show.
Ernie doesn't want to come on the show.
Why?
Because he owns the station. He's a producer. He doesn't have to come on.
So what? Donald Trump owned Trump Towers and Trump Media and Trump everything, and he was the apprentice.
Okay. Well, we'll work on getting Ernie on the show.
Come on, we'll work on it. That's bullshit.
I'll ask Ernie if he wants to come on the show.
Tell him to come on
We're
the show.
not asking Ernie anything. We know already.
I'll email him right now.
Yep.
You don't think I will?
No, you won't.
Okay.
Yep. My phone's going to ping in a minute, Dave, because the email is going to come to me.
I'll email.
I want you to CC me right
I'll
now.
email him right now.
Right. I want him to come on Moneyline, or actually, I want him to come on Rebel Republic.
He's going to say no.
He's not going to come on Rebel.
All right, have him come on Moneyline.
I'll get him on.
Why? He could be the contrary voice on Rebel Republic.
I don't. No. You'll argue with him.
I'll argue with him.
Is that the point?
I don't want you to argue with him.
I wouldn't argue with him.
Yeah, I mean, you would.
No.
You would.
Come on.
Yeah, the DEI thing. I mean,
You saw how nice I was to
Why-
Maria.
Why are we not allowed to argue in America?
Right.
you are allowed to argue with America, but not the guy that this is his station.
Not on the station that he doesn't play your show on.
How about my station? My station's 10 times bigger than his station.
It is. It is.
100 times bigger.
It is. I know.
Okay,
I know.
So
what would you like, Dave? What do you want? You want Ernie to come on Rebel Republic? Is that what you want?
I just want to know that Ernie exists.
I've showed you his picture. You can Google him.
You can take a picture off the web for anybody.
Google him. He exists.
What's his last name?
Ernie Floyd. Google him.
Ernie Floyd.
I Google him.
He
I've
owns
never,
the radio station.
Get him on a show. Get him on a show here.
And I've gone, and Mr. Wells took me to get your beer last year.
Great.
And that's what we saw Ernie.
That was.
Hey, want to see another great picture?
Yeah, let's see it right now, please.
Here's a great picture. This is at the Belmont Stakes. Me and Bobby.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. They like that. The old bow tie is old.
Dapper.
Old one.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a
Like
sharp
that?
looking guy.
Look like a barbershop quartet right there. Missing two though.
Yeah. You look a lot gayer back then.
Yes.
Like if I
Okay.
saw you, I would have thought you were gay.
Well, I'll
Well, of
get
course,
you a
because-
real young one. We can really.
Of course, you're gay, so I mean you're scouting out other guys.
I'm not gay.
Yes.
Oh, wait, like that's like the show. How do I know you're gay? Well, because you know them.
Because you're gay.
This is my brother, my brother, and my sister. We were pretty young. No, I was probably like 27, maybe 28.
Did you guys like take baths together and all that stuff?
What? That's a strange question to ask.
No, that's what they did.
That's us all at a wedding. Me, my brother, and my sister.
Oh yeah, she definitely looks Jewish. You don't look Jewish. Okay. Your brother doesn't look Jewish. You look the most Jewish out of everyone.
Can you put up a picture, Ernie?
I look like a supermodel. What are you talking about?
You do. Yeah, I can picture you taking your shirt off and dancing in the club.
Yeah.
All right, so we gotta sign off here.
Oh my God.
When in Rome.
Yeah.
Unity in the community.
I guess Steve's Lebanese is coming out.
Yeah, we'll put it on Rebel Republic.
Music's coming up.
Great. Life gives you lemons.
Yeah.
Take 2 oranges. You can shove 'em up my ass since I'm gay.
That's it.
I'm gay, everyone.
Enjoy
I'm
it.
coming out of the closet. I'm gay.
Enjoy it.
Let's go here.
I'm gay. I'm a very gay man.
Don't be hard on yourself.
I'm gay.
Just